Hi, and welcome to another Barvember White Rose Maths Challenge. This is quite a tricky one. Some adults and children are in a museum. 2/5 of the number of adults is twice the number of children. 24 more children enter the museum, and 35 adults leave the museum. The ratio of adults to children is now 5:2. And the question we are asked is, how many adults were in the museum at the start? Well, unsurprisingly, I am going to start by drawing a bar for adults and a bar for the children. And we are told that 2/5 of the number of adults is twice the number of children. So I'm going to draw a bar for the adults that's split into fifths. So that's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Okay, so this is the bar for the adults. And if that's the bar for the adults, well, we're told that 2/5 of the number of adults, so this is 1/5, this is 2/5. 2/5 of the number of adults is twice the number of children. So this must be the bar for the children, okay? Half of 2/5, okay? So that's a very convoluted way of telling us that the ratio at the start is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 2. But when we draw it out, we can see it, okay? And what I should also do here is show that this is the start. Okay, so this is the start, and that's actually our question. How many adults were in the museum at the start? So I'm going to put my question mark there. And here is the start for the children. Okay, so far so good. Right, so I've represented that bit of information there. Then 24 more children enter the museum. Okay, well, I don't know how big 24 is, so I am just going to draw, I don't know, a portion that's going to represent this plus 24. Okay, and I don't know how big that is in relation to this at all. Okay, it's not this part is not to scale at all. And I know that 35 adults leave the museum. Well, again, I don't know how big that might be. Let's say that could be there. I don't know. So this is 35. So we've got 35 adults leaving the museum. All right. So that's that bit of information and that bit of information. But here we get the ratio of adults to children is now 5:2. Now this is where it gets interesting. Okay, so what I'm going to do is redraw now. And I'm going to draw another bar for the adults, another bar for the children. Now, actually, I need to start by drawing a bar for the children because I don't know enough about the adults yet. And I'll explain. So I know what the children have at the end. I can see that there. It is what they had at the beginning plus 24. Now, at the end, we have the children. This amount represents 2 parts. So in order to visualize it, I want to split this amount into 2 parts. So what I'm going to do is divide this original bar into 2. If I'm dividing this into 2, I'm going to divide all of these at the same time. Okay, but so what I'm going to do is then draw one there. Right, so that's 1. And then I'm going to take half of this 24. Okay, I'm going to just draw that like that. So that's half of 24. Okay, I'm going to shade that in. There we go. So, and that of course is 12. All right, so that's one part, which is half of this. And I'm now going to draw the second part in. Okay. And there we go. And that's my 12. Okay, so can you see I've now got two parts for the children, and all I have done is just split what they had at the, at the end, as shown here, into two. So one is there, and I've split this like that. Okay, so this is 24. Now, if this is one part, now I can draw in the parts for the adults. Okay, so one. Okay, actually I'm going to just draw all these parts in first. That makes it just a bit easier, or a bit quicker anyway. And as ever, you have to bear with my terrible drawing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that's 5 of these. And then we've got to give these the matching little bits of, these are all 12, aren't they? Because they have to match these parts here. Now, I don't know the size of these in relation to each other. Remember, these are just arbitrarily sized. So 12, 12, 12. Oh, I've missed one out, haven't I? So 1, 2, 3, 4, and one more. Okay. So I know that these will all add up to 60. Okay, so far so good. Right. Now, what I'm actually going to do is I am going to redraw this, and so that you can follow my thinking. So I'm now going to redraw this again. So adults and children. And what do the adults have? Well, the adults have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these bars. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 of these. And remember that each of these is equivalent to these. Okay, so all these black boxes are all the same size, equal size parts. And then, so what has A got? Well, I've just put all of these blocks, these units together, and I'm going to put all of these together. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And again, the size of these is arbitrary. Okay, so this is our 60. Right, each of these is 12. We don't know the value of this. And what have we got for the children? Well, that's the two parts. And these two parts here, just because these two are looking the same size as one of those, you know when you're drawing it that doesn't mean anything. Yeah, so this is 12 still, that's 24. Right, okay, how is this helping us? Well, we need to remember these parts. This is the same as that. And remember, what did we have at the start? Well, at the start we had 10 of these parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so and now here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts. Well, we know that these make up for some of what's missing of the 5 parts, so they're taking up some space. And then we have a gap here which must be accounted for by the 35 that we lost. Okay, so these 5 missing parts here, okay, there we are, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are made up by 60 add 35. All right, it doesn't matter that that they are out of scale with each other, because I am following my own model. You don't know, right at the beginning we didn't know how big to draw these. So if we add 60 and 35, we get 95. So that we know now that the value of 5 parts is 95. And if we divide 95 by 5, we get 19. So now we know that each of these parts, this is 19, this is 19, and so are these up here. Okay, and if this is 19, so are each of these. And now we can calculate this part. This is our question. And how many of these parts did we have at the beginning? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's as easy as 19 times 10, and that equals 190. So we know that there were 190 adults at the start. And we could check that if we wanted by just sort of, plugging the numbers in. So if this is 190, well, what did we have at the start for the children? Well, that would be 19 times 2, which is 38. Okay, so, and if we had 190, all right, and divided it by 38, we would get 5, which is exactly what we expect from that original, because remember the original ratio was 5 to 1. Okay, we've now split it into 10 to 2, but it's 5 to 1. So we can, check it by plugging in those numbers. Anyway, 190 is my answer. That's what I'm sticking with. And I hope following my thinking helped you. It certainly helped me to draw this out. It did cause me to scratch my head and make a cup of tea, but this is what I got, and this certainly helped me, and I hope it helps you. Anyway, thanks for now.